So you want to eat one meal a day? Well, I got your back. My name is C Dub, and I lost 125 pounds eating one meal a day. And you're looking to get started, so I'm going to teach you how to get started. And I'm also going to tell you some of the things you need to watch out for along the way, get some of the myths on the table, tell you some of the facts, and kind of help you guide you through this situation. So if you've never clicked on my channel, you finally did it. You got to the right one. I got an endless amount of videos on this channel that can help you along the way too. All the questions and concerns you have are already here. You can scroll through and check those out. And I hope you subscribe because, I want to help you on your journey. I want to help you become a weight loss warrior. And I want to help you get to the side of the mountain that weight loss is and help guide you. So let's just hop into it and let's talk about eating one meal a day. So why would you want to eat one meal a day? And it's obvious the number one answer people are going to say is weight loss, but there's so much more to it. It's going to save you time. It's going to save you money. It's going to do a lot of good things, but it's very interesting because a lot of people hop right into it. A lot of people read about it on Reddit or they see a YouTube video and they say, you know what, tomorrow I'm going to eat one meal a day. And then by the time 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the afternoon rolls around, they're like, oh my God, this sucks so bad. I'm so tired. I'm so wore out. I don't want to do this anymore. I just want to eat. I want to quit. And then if they get through that day, it repeats the next day and the next day, and generally they're in trouble. So that's not the way to go. Eating one meal a day is like going to the gym when you've never lifted weights before and lifting weights with a personal trainer. If you can think about that situation, or somebody that's a really into fitness. So you've taken a high level CrossFit class and you've never even been to the gym. When you do that to yourself, your body is going to just be like, whoa, what is going on? This is not okay. And that's what happens to people when they go to one meal a day straight to it. You have not earned it. You have not built up a muscle that is going to be okay with this situation. You have to have that fasting muscle. Just like if you went to the gym and you worked out every day for 6 months, then you went and took a class at a high level training thing, your body's gonna feel much better about it. It's the same thing with eating one meal a day. Now, the good news is it's not gonna take 6 months to adjust, but I can't tell you how long it is going to take to adjust because each and every one of you watching this is just going to be slightly different from the other one. I can tell you that it took around 2 weeks for me to be like, oh God, I'm hungry. I was hungry all of the time in the first 2 weeks. And then I just kind of got past it and got over it. And now I feel no hunger at all unless it's time to eat. And it's funny, my time does sometimes change. Sometimes, most of the time I'm eating between 4 and 5 because we've got Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, I've got wrestling, I've got all these other things going on. So I'm eating between 4 and 5 in the afternoon. But if I have to adjust my window, like maybe to noon one day, I'll notice at 11 o'clock I'm getting hungry. I know I'm going to eat at noon. 11 o'clock I'm getting hungry. The next day at 11 o'clock, I don't feel it at all. And then on the days when I'm eating 4 to 5 at 3 o'clock, I start feeling like, okay, you want to eat. And it's just something that your body is used to doing. And so that is something that you're going to have to be able to slowly get to. So the best thing to do if you've never fasted a day in your life is to start at 12 and 12. Now, if you have fasted, you can move forward on the video and find out where it is you're used to being, but you start out on a 12 and 12 and you do that for at least a week. Go stop at 6 o'clock at night and don't eat or drink. I mean, you can drink water, but don't eat or drink anything with calories after 6. And at 6 o'clock in the morning, you can go ahead and drink water and start eating, things outside of water, start eating. Get yourself going. And if you've done that for a full week, you're probably ready to move that time down. Now, if you feel great after 12 hours, you can try to jump straight to 16. It's not that big of a leap. But if you're feeling kind of, I'm not quite used to 12 yet, then you might want to just move it to 7 o'clock in the morning. But your goal is to get to what, 10? 10 o'clock in the morning is your goal. So then you have a 10 to 6 window. Now that window, once you get there, I think on average, you're between 2 weeks and a month out from being able to eat OMAD every single day. So if you're into that situation where you have now made it to that, 16 and 8 window, now you've done it for 2 or 3 weeks and you're not feeling hungry before 10 in the morning, go ahead and push it to noon. Now we're going to move it forward 2 hours at a time. And if you feel like that 2-hour jump was nothing, so, Monday you ate at 12 and it felt still like the same thing you did at 10, no big deal. You can go Tuesday to 2. And if you don't feel like it's a big deal, go Wednesday to 3. And if you don't feel that it's that big, go, to the final hour and you're in your OMAD the next time. But if anywhere along the way, let's say you move it to 2 and then you're dying. Okay, stay at 2 until you can get to 2 o'clock with no problem before you move on from there. And if you slowly move your window by 2 hours at a time, it may take you as much as 8 weeks or so to get from a 16 and 8 to an OMAD. But the good news is the whole 6 weeks, 8 weeks, whatever it is, you're losing weight, you're adjusting, and you're not putting yourself into this miserable situation that's likely to lead you to quit. And that is something, to consider. I don't think in the future it's a big deal to adjust your window for events, to make yourself be able to move your window from 5 o'clock in the afternoon to 3 o'clock or from 5 o'clock to 8 o'clock, because you'll get a shorter fast on one side and a longer fast on the other, and it evens itself out and everything is okay. But I do suggest when you're first starting out, that you don't do that you try to take it and say, okay, I'm not really going to make any adjustments unless it's absolutely necessary. If there's a wedding or something like that, go ahead and adjust to whatever you need to. But just for, hey, I'm going to go out with my friends and have a couple of beers and watch a game or something, like, don't do it for a couple of months. And then that way, when you're finally in a spot to where you've controlled your situation enough to where, you're able to make the adjustment and move your window, and it's not going to be a big deal. Because I believe the number one reason why people are going to get off of OMAD is because they are hungry. And hunger is something that, in my opinion, starts with habit. And then, once you get that habit there, it kind of goes away. Of course, there's real hunger. And of course, we all know that does exist and you can get to those levels. But if you're eating once a day, that's so many more times, most likely, than your ancestors ate. And so you really don't feel the same hunger as what the word really should mean, right? Starvation. You're not doing any of that. Now, another myth I want to talk about real quick is just because you choose OMAD does not mean you can do whatever you want to do inside of that hour window. Now, it creates so much more flexibility and it allows you so many more things. Like if you wanted to have a donut, you can have a donut in your window. But the thing is, you probably shouldn't have a donut every single day. You probably shouldn't have a bowl of ice cream every single day. You probably shouldn't have a donut and a bowl of ice cream on the same day. Those kind of things, you've got to think them out, plan them in advance. If you really like a certain dessert, say, every 3 days I'm going to add it in. Once a week I'm going to add it in. Every other week, depending on who you are, where your fitness goals are. Don't go crazy. Yes, you can still eat pizza. Yes, you can still have burgers and fries. But the bottom line is we don't want to take it to a point where all we eat is pizza and burgers and fries, because the weight can gain back on you. And that's something that you always have to understand, that there is an element of what you eat has to be burnt no matter what anyone says. It doesn't matter too. A lot of people make the mistake of saying, well, I'm doing keto so I can eat whatever I want, because it's using that fat for fuel. But yes, if it doesn't use all that fat, it will store that fat as fat. And that is a fact. So you can still gain weight while eating keto if you're eating more than you're burning. So don't buy into this just because I'm eating OMAD guarantees that I'm doing the right thing. And the last little bit of information that I want to talk about, another myth, is if you're doing OMAD, you shouldn't exercise. I've walked 10,000 or more steps every single day since November, November 2019? Might have been 2018. Man, it's 2018, yeah. November 2018, I've walked 10,000 steps or more every single day. Sick, healthy, feeling good, feeling bad, whatever, I got it done. That's exercise. I also lifted weights with my wrestling team heavy last year before COVID. Due to COVID, I haven't been in the weight room very much, but I was lifting every day, and I was lifting many hours before I ate. And I was always okay. I was lifting at 6 in the morning. I wasn't eating until 6 o'clock at night, so 12 hours. So don't buy into the fact that you can't exercise while doing OMAD. You can. Now, you probably aren't going to get the results of a bodybuilder while eating OMAD. You're going to have to do something different if your track is to put on as much muscle mass and look like Brock Lesnar or The Rock. You're going to have to do it a different way. But if your goal is to, hey, I just want to feel better, I want to get in better shape, I want to lose some weight, OMAD is the ticket. Don't buy into the myths, but understand that the benefits far outweigh everything else. And I want to see you on my side of the OMAD mountain losing, a bunch of weight and feeling better. So drop me some comments about what your goals are. And if you haven't seen any of my videos before, I think this is a great one. And if you have seen them, check out one of these over here. Maybe you haven't seen. I'll talk to you all guys on the next one. But before I let you go, my face right there, click on that and subscribe to this channel. I'll talk to you on the next one. Peace.